and thanks for joining me in yet another video. Today we're going to be exploring how I accomplished making these two kinds of pies. One's a chicken and one is a cheesy tuna. They're both baked in the oven. So stay tuned and enjoy. Hey guys, I'm going to be making some pies. These ones are going to be done in the oven, so it's slightly different. In this container here I have 3 cups of flour. To that I'm going to be adding 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 3 tablespoons of milk. In this case I'm using evaporated milk, and 6 tablespoons of margarine, not butter but margarine. So I'm gonna start combining this and I'll show you what that looks like. So to my 3 cups of flour I'm gonna start adding my margarine. So 6 tablespoons of margarine is fine. So there's 1. So we're gonna slowly start rubbing this into the flour. I'm gonna just get in there. So at this point I add my teaspoon of baking powder. Yeah, some nutmeg. So as you can see here, I'm just about achieving that breadcrumb texture. You see how it's all crummy? Look at my fingers there. It's all getting all crummy and stuff. So that's exactly what you're looking for before you proceed. You want it to get to that texture. So in this bowl I have combined my flour, my baking powder, my nutmeg, and my 6 tablespoons of butter. So yeah, now we have a consistency of like a breadcrumb consistency. So at this point I'm gonna be adding my 1 egg to this. So I'm gonna start combining this egg into this mixture. So after you've integrated your egg, it should look like this and start to get like kind of clumpy. So at this point, I'm going to be adding a bit more of, I have a 1/4 cup of water. I'm only going to be adding 1/3 of that at a time. The water is cold, by the way, not warm water, because you need to get this dough into a bind. So after I've added all 1/4 cup of my water, and all my water is in here now. So this is the kind of dough that I have. At this point, this is the kind of dough you want. You want your dough to, it's not like, let's see, it's not very hard or soft. So after we've combined our dough like this, and it has this consistency, I think it's good. Yeah. So all I'm gonna do next is I'm going to flour my workspace. So here I went ahead and used my enamel cup just because it gave me the perfect shape. Like I got the nice circular shape from it that I was hoping for, that I can proceed to make the pies. So I just kept going around my dough with it and twisting it until I got the shapes that I was going for. So I just kept doing that until I ran out of dough. So after I formed the dough, I ended up just remixing all the parts. So I just rolled it out all over again. And yeah, I just took my rolling pin and rolled it out all over again. This rolling pin, I can take out the handle on it, so I eventually did.
I sometimes take this out
to press out
I don't like the sticks.
dough. Yeah, so I just continue doing this until it got flat again, and it's almost like you're repeating what you started doing. So just massage, massage, massage your dough until you get a shape, the flattened shape that you were working with prior to, and then you're gonna recut with the cup just like we did before. So this is the overall thickness we're going for. So as you can see, it's rolled out pretty thin. So I just wanted to stop to show you the thinness we're going for and the size in comparison to sitting in my hand. So that's what we're going to be working with. So at this point, after I rolled each one out 3 times on each side, I just placed them into just my basin that I had originally kneaded the flour in. So I just piled them up on each other in there as well until I'm done with all of this, rolling out each one, you know.
So I have 2 onions that I'm going to be mincing. They're small, so I'm just going to be using 2 small onions.
So after your onions are all minced, you're just gonna go in with your carrot next. So with this carrot, you're gonna only be needing half of a carrot. So I'm gonna be putting half aside and half of it I'm gonna just peel, and then we're gonna just be grating it. So we're going to be using the fine side of the grater. As you can see here, we're using the finer side than the thicker side. When that's done, we're gonna just transfer that over into a bowl with the onions and stir it together. To that, we're gonna be adding a half a teaspoon of black pepper, followed by we have here some onion powder. Half a teaspoon of that goes in there as well. Next, we're gonna be adding some garlic powder. Half a teaspoon of that goes in there as well. Next, chicken-based seasoning. We're gonna put in 1 teaspoon of that. Then we're gonna put in some parsley flakes. I'd estimate about a half a teaspoon in there. And this is optional, of course. This is chili flakes. I put in a half a teaspoon in there as well. Next, we're gonna go in with some minced ginger. We're gonna put in a half a teaspoon of that as well. And followed by some minced garlic. Half a teaspoon goes in there as well. So those are your prime ingredients. We're also going to be putting in some lemon juice. We're going to put in a full teaspoon, well, 2 teaspoons, 3 teaspoons of lemon juice, as well as half a teaspoon of mustard. We're going to give that a nice stir to incorporate all those ingredients that we have in there so far, just so that everything's kind of blended and, has that particular flavor and such. So next, we're going to go into our strained tuna. This tuna was just soaking in water. I have 2 cans of that tuna. It was drained off, and now I'm adding 1 can at a time into this mixture. So you'll see me here just incorporating that first can of tuna. Next, I'm going in for the second can that has also been drained. And we're going to be adding that in as well and giving it a nice stir to incorporate everything. Next, I'm going to be going in with some mayonnaise. I'm going to be using, this is a tablespoon, so I'm going to be using a total of 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise into this mixture. So I just added it in, and now I'm going to be incorporating it into the tuna. Now, before incorporating this mayonnaise into your mixture, you're gonna be needing some cheese to go along with this, because remember, this is a cheesy tuna mixed. So we're gonna need some cheese. So we're gonna get our grater out again. And you're not gonna need much cheese. I'm gonna assume you're gonna need about a 1/4 cup of cheese after I measured it at the end of how much I put in. So we're going in with the fine side of the grater. And we're going to be just grating down a piece of cheese on there. So now that I grated it, I'm just going to be transferring it into a size cup, 1/4 cup. And I'm just going to be measuring a 1/4 cup's worth of cheese, which is exactly what I had grated, coincidentally, and adding it into that tuna mixture. So yeah, I'm just going to be incorporating those ingredients now, just to make sure that we have a nice smooth consistency. Now would be a good time to add a little bit more parsley just for garnish. It's up to you though. It's up to personal preference. I like seeing the little green, garnish in there. So I went ahead and made some minced ground chicken. This is what it usually looks like. This is what it looks like in the tube. It looks just like minced beef. So I went ahead and I cooked this just like I do usually with my minced beef. But I went ahead and cooked it with an onion, parsley, ginger, coriander, and all that cheesy tuna paste, as well as this minced chicken to fill the pies that I had previously prepared. So I went ahead with a baking tray, and for me, I find it easier to put some foil paper down on it. So I went ahead with that and put some foil paper on. I put a tablespoon of oil, and then I used my hands to distribute that oil all over that pan. So as you can see here, I have my pies that are empty, of course. I'm just going to be placing them onto the countertop. I have a bowl with some egg wash on the side. I have my tuna ready. I have my chicken ready. Everything's just ready to go. So basically, I prepare a space now for the dough to sit on the counter, and I'm going to fill it.
So for the filling of this product, we're gonna just be putting like a nice helping of this cheesy tuna fish in the middle there. And what I've been doing is I have my egg wash right here on the side. So what I do is I fold it in to the part where the meat ends, and I take a touch of my egg wash, I touch the edges here, and then I close it. So I have, this one is the chicken pie. So to that, I'm just going to be putting a little bit of this egg wash around the edges. And then I'm going to push this in and fold this down.
I would say the most important part right here with these pies is to seal the edges, and hence the reason they're using the egg wash. So you'd want to just seal down the edge on that to make sure that it was totally closed.
So I have all my pies in here. I have the fish, that's the squared ones, and the chicken, that's the oval shaped ones. And this is just some excess flour that I had that I decided to roll as well. So the ones, some of them have been pricked already, but you do need to prick 2 holes in there so that the stuff can breathe while it's cooking. 2 pokes is good enough. After that, we're gonna just generously cover this in egg wash, generously. So all the pies have been generously coated with the egg wash. I have the oven preheating at 300 degrees right now. And I'm gonna set a timer for 30 to 35 minutes. Actually, I'm gonna set a 35-minute timer, and I'll take them out and I'll show you what that looks like after 35 minutes. So our pies are ready. I'm going to be taking them out. So these are the fish and these are the chicken, minced chicken, and this one is the fish, the cheesy fish filling. So yeah. So we're gonna break into it now and figure out its goodness. So here it goes. Yeah. It's really good. Now for the fish.
So guys, I hope you really enjoyed this presentation. I tried not to miss anything and or skip any of my steps so that you can achieve these exact same results on your own. So I encourage you to go on ahead and try these. You can use any fillings that you like. However, these two, I like them in pies. So try them out for yourself and let me know what you think about this recipe. Bye for now, y'all.